مايكروسوفت كالعادة تواجدت في CES 2011 بلاس فيغاس ضمن موقع كبير عرضت العديد من منتجاتها هنا التي تعرفنا عليها سابقا في اي تك كاكس بوكس 360 كينكت تعرفنا عليه في CTIA بسان فرانسيسكو، ايضا ويندوز فون في جاتكس دبي 2010. اليوم في CES سنتعرف على انترنت اكسبلورر 9 بالنسخة التجريبية التي تصبح في الاسواق متاحة للجميع قريبا جدا. لنتعرف ما هو الجديد في انترنت اكسبلورر 9.
Today we have Internet Explorer 9, which is out in beta. It was released in beta on September 15th. It's already had over 20 million downloads. What this is a bunch of little canvas elements. It's HTML5. You can see I've got a frames per second up here, and I've got the number of fish that I can include in my tank. And if we just give you a little bit of sense for how this works, if I ratchet up to maybe 50 fish, 150 fish, 100 fish, let's crank it at 250. Let's even add it up all the way to 1,000. These are the kinds of things that weren't possible with browsers of yesteryear. IE9 is the first to come out with a fully hardware-accelerated browser that allows web developers to build experiences that are going to far transcend kind of the flat web that we know it today. HTML5 at the center, a clean site-centric design, and then of course with IE, one of the big things is the trust and making sure that you have a secure, reliable, and private browser. And we've done a lot of work in IE9 on those areas. One of the things you'll notice is in IE9, I'll expand it here a little bit, we have a one box. And so right up here, when I type in, I can do search terms as well as going right to the address. And so what I'll do is I'll type in maybe HTML5 as a for instance, and you'll see I'll automatically get not only my history, but I'll get search suggestions right here as well. And I could come in and I could add things like visual search and whatnot. Some other interesting things, I flash by it really quickly, kind of the new tab page starts to show you how we take that clean site-centric design. It's really about the sites, it's not about the browser. And we translate that into this new tab page, which shows me a little bit, here's the sites that I'm going to most frequently. You can see that activity bar. And instead of showing you kind of a pixelated version of the page, you have to squint at it and figure out what am I looking at. What we do is we just show a beautiful icon of the site that you're going to so you can instantly recognize it. And then I can simply go right into that experience. So if I wanted to go into CNN, and again, we make it one click to take that down and pin it, which I've already done in this case, and so if I launch that, you can have that pinned experience where it now looks like almost an application and no longer those sites behind a browser. So here, I've got obviously my home button, I've got my favorites, and then obviously I've got all my menus that I used to have. So whether it be safety and things like you want to do like in private browsing or filtering, your downloads, we have a new download manager that comes. We have an able way to manage and add your downloads. One of the interesting things that happens with downloads that we've done with IE9, a lot of people have toolbars in their browsers. And toolbars can be value additive, but sometimes they can really impact performance. And sometimes they're actually a security risk as well. Right. So one of the things that'll happen in IE9 is when we see a toolbar that's impacting performance, we're going to quietly let you know. Vista and Windows 7.
Only.
Yes, and that's really because if you think about what we talked about before with hardware acceleration and taking advantage of the full power of the PC, there's no longer this concept that the browser is separate than the PC, and you actually need a modern operating environment. Hardware coupled with a modern Windows to start to power some of these experiences that you have before. Beautyoftheweb.com, www.beautyoftheweb.com.
تراين وورث ب E3 2011 بلاس فيغاس قدمت لعبة End of Nation تعتمد على العمليات العسكرية في احتلال الدول. End of Nations لعبة أونلاين لن تكون في الأسواق قبل بداية عام 2012.
The special part of End of Nations, it's unprecedented scale. It's bigger than any other RTS game that's out there. Other RTS games allow you to have 4 versus 4, sometimes maybe even 8 versus 8. The special thing about End of Nations is you can actually have up to 26 on 26 players fighting on the same map at the same time. When you start End of Nations, you end up in this war room. And in the war room, it's like a global room where you can see everything that's going on in the world. You've got a chat where you can talk to people. You've got tickers, which tells you what's going on currently in the world. You get updates from friends, all sorts of information. So what I'm going to end up showing you here is we're actually going to go into a map called Deep Hammer, which is in Australia. And so by queuing up, we load into this map, and we're going to start out with our current loadout of units. And what we're going to do in this map is there's two factions. You've got the Liberation Front and you've got Shadow Revolution. And the idea is you want to destroy the other faction's bases. I'm going to select all my units, and if you look at the map down in the lower left corner, you can actually see your units and everybody else's units. One of the advantages of this game also is that it's persistent. So as you level up in the game, you're creating your character, your commander character, and he progresses over time. It's not like you go into the map once, you leave the map, and you start all over every single time. It's every time you actually, you continue to level up your character and he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. In this game, we have aspects like in-game currency. The in-game currency is going to allow you to do things like lay down command structures. It's going to allow you to have certain kind of commander abilities, which is going to allow you to be a much more powerful player. This game, first and foremost, is about RTS, so it's about strategy. It's about being a smart player. It's about learning your units, learning how to use your command abilities, learning how to use your unit abilities. On the way to the other command base, we ran into the enemy. And so from here, we're going to try to destroy the enemy since they're in our way of actually completing our mission. So on this PvP map, you can see at the upper right corner, there's different missions. For this particular map, you want to destroy the other faction's control center. As your faction wins certain maps, you're going to end up controlling certain parts of the world. And as your faction controls more and more parts of the world, you're going to get bonuses and extra things that's going to make your units much more powerful. We do have a website. If you go to endofnations.com, you'll be able to see what we have released to the public.
تقنيات ستاديكام تتطور يوما بعد يوم من الكاميرات الكبيرة إلى الكاميرات الصغيرة جدا. أحدث ستاديكام هنا في NAB 2011 ولقاء مع مخترع ستاديكام جاريت براون في آيتك.
We have some wonderful stuff in the pipeline. I think what Steadicam does is we innovate and we chase what the operators want. This is the Tango. Tango is a bolt-on crane for Steadicam, and the lens can go right on the deck all the way down and all the way up to 3 meters in the air, both booming and a very kind of simple mechanism, just rods and pulleys. And the result is you have what was my dream many years ago, which was not the restriction of height, but being able to sweep the lens in big arcs, you know. It's a very satisfying rig, actually. For those of us who have had the height limit for 30 years from here to here, up here if you jump, you know, to have this is remarkable. This is the Merlin, and the Merlin has a brand new Lank control handle. So Lank is built into the handle, zoom and focus on off and run stop, which we're extremely excited about. This is so-called Smoothie, which is a Steadicam for your iPhone or your iPod Touch or the little flip camera or the GoPro. And of course the technique with the Smoothie is just like all the big ones. This is a gimbal, so nothing you do gets through. The tiniest touch gives you pan and tilt, right? Right? And it's pretty immune to whatever you do, you know. The GoPro with their new monitor, which is really quite fun. Because the thing about this camera is when it does move like this, it looks really good. You know, it's extremely wide, but it looks great. This is one called the Archer 2, and the Archer 2 is the first Steadicam that folds up for very fast location travel. The Segway for Steadicam called SteadySeg, and this is a spectacularly capable rig. It's a hard mount. It means that you're tireless with this. You could shoot a golf match for hours and hours and hours and go over any terrain. And it's fantastically agile. And of course, it's a perfect match with Steadicam.
تتابعون ايتك عبر الحرة والحرة دوت كوم ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتك شو. تتابعون ايتك عبر الحرة والحرة دوت كوم ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتك شو.
من اللاعبين الأساسيين في مجال الهواتف المحمولة الذكية HTC عرضت هنا في معرض CES on the Hill بالقرب من هضبة الكونغرس الأمريكي بواشنطن أحدث منتجاتها لنتعرف عليها معا.
What I think we're most excited about is our full line of 4G products. So these are products that are taking wireless speeds even faster. So I have 3 devices here. This device is called the HTC Evo 4G. This device was the first 4G product in the United States. So what it uses is what's called WiMAX technology. You can see it's got this big 4.3-inch screen, but you can download all sorts of applications. Internet browsing is really fast, and you can even use it as a hotspot to power like laptops and other devices as well. So what you have here is your main screen. It's got 7 screens across. This is your main screen, but then you have things like your email. What's cool on this is that you can actually go through and check your mail right on a widget. You come over here, it'll load up all of your Facebook friends, your Twitter friends into one stream. It's called Friend Stream. Your calendaring is on here. So everything you want is actually on the main screen. You don't have to go into menus to get to it, which is really, really cool. And that's what's called HTC Sense. And you'll see that across our product line. So from this device, I'll move on to this device, which is the HTC Thunderbolt. And the Thunderbolt is the world's first 4G LTE device. LTE will eventually be the global standard for almost all 4G devices everywhere. But this is the first one in the world. It's available at Verizon Wireless. And what's really cool about it is that, same basic experience. What you're looking at is a product that, compared to current 3G products, is about 10 times faster. So you can download a movie in just a couple of minutes. So it's really crazy how much you can do on this. It's almost like having your home broadband connection in your pocket. My final product, which is this, which is the HTC Inspire 4G. Again, very similar, a 4G product, big 4.3-inch screen. So everything we do looks at what the consumer wants. So, for example, we don't necessarily put technology in here just to have a better spec than somebody else. We really talk to people, understand what they want. That's why, for example, most phones, if you want to look up, let's say your friend John, you have to think, gee, did John send me a Twitter? Did he post it on Facebook, an SMS? You have to think about the technology. With our phones, all you do is look up the name of your friend, maybe it's John, and it'll show you all the communications you've had with them in one place. Right? It's those kind of learnings that we have from our customers that make our devices a little bit different. The best place to go is www.htc.com.
دائما ضمن معرض ماكورد 2011 بسان فرانسيسكو منتجات وبرامج تتعلق بأبل. على آيباد هناك ألعاب فيديو لديها كنترولر أو تحكم بواسطة الأصابع. شركة 110 قدمت فلينج. فلينج هو تحكم ولكن ليس فقط في الأصابع، إنما تحكم فعلي يسهل عملية اللعب على الآيباد، بالإضافة لمنتجات أخرى. نتعرف على 10-1 من ماكورد 2011.
Today we have some really cool stuff. We have this Pogo Sketch stylus, and it works on the iPad, and it gives you this very accurate touch control for note-taking, for inside a meeting, or for typing on the iPad. So this is the Pen Ultimate app. It's a really great app for taking notes in meetings on your iPad, and you just use it like a normal pen, and these are really great. You can get these at the Apple Store. You can get them on our website, 101design.com. We also have this really cool joystick for the iPad, and it lets you control games, and it gives you a tactile control for your game. So you feel like you're on a console, like a PlayStation or an Xbox. And you get this ridiculous amount of control. It almost feels a little bit like cheating. You'll definitely break your high score if you're using the Fling. Works with well over 100 games on the App Store, all the really popular first-person shooter games, the RPG games, the dual-stick space shooters, anything that has an on-screen joystick, it works really well with. They attach with suction cups, so you look for the on-screen joystick, center it over top of it, and then just press down on the suction cups to attach it. And then to remove it, you just pull up on it until it pops off. And it's also, at the same time, what makes it special is it's transparent, so you can see the screen right through the game controller. It comes with a storage bag, so you can just toss it in the bag and take it with you, stick it in your pocket. It's a handy way to keep it with you, with your iPad. We do have this nice particle case. It has little bumps on the bottom, so your iPad doesn't rattle when it's on the table. And it has a little holder for the stylus as well, so you can keep this with you when you go to your meeting and you're taking notes on your iPad. It works really great on your iPhone or your iPod Touch, as well as a lot of other Android devices. 101design.com, that's all spelled out, T-E-N-O-N-E, design.
ليجو هاري بوتر ييرز 5 to 7 لعبة أعلن عنها هنا في E3 2011 بلوس أنجلوس، ستصبح متاحة في الأسواق في موسم الأعياد ديسمبر 2011. سنتعرف عليها معا.
We're here showcasing Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7, which is the follow-up to last year's game Lego Harry Potter 1 to 4. So with Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7, we're basically getting to finish what we started. You know, we're telling the end of the story, the final 3 books, the final 4 films, leading to the obviously ultimate showdown of Harry Potter and Voldemort. Well, the great thing about Harry Potter in Lego form is that we get to have fun with everything. It's you know, it's a fabulous IP, and as creatives, we can kind of take all the fiction and all the cool stories that J.K. Rowling wrote and just have fun with them. You know, Lego and Lego games are all about fun. This level here, the demo level, is halfway through Year 7, the Deathly Hallows, and it's when Harry and Hermione have come to Godric's Hollow. So basically what they're doing is they're exploring the graveyard, looking for clues, trying to uncover the secrets of the Horcruxes. You know, this point in fiction is quite serious in the films, and we just try and treat it quite light-heartedly. You know, we don't take things too seriously, but we have some great new mechanics in the game. So we have Defindo, where the character can basically trace around Lego lines. So you can see I'm cutting around the Lego, and it's an odd shape. The Lego falls out, and then I can use my character to build something and create something. In this instance, I create like a log burning stove, and I can use that and I can lift it and manipulate it around, and if I take it near the snow, it'll melt the snow, reveal the grave, and then as Hermione I can just go up, is this the right grave? Yes it is, brilliant. Everything we do is kind of really light-hearted. You know, we aim the games at kids, so you know, everything has to be like nice and simple, but also very, very fun. All the little things you collect are Lego coins, Lego currency. So up at the top of the screen you have a total, and then you can basically go to the shops in Diagon Alley and you can buy new characters, you can buy new spells. You basically can just get to spend them on cool stuff within the game. I think there's 170 playable characters, and so you can unlock them in the shop. So you've got characters like Voldemort and Bellatrix and Professor Slughorn, and you'll get to unlock these characters, and then in free play you'll be able to play them. We've also got Professor Lupin, who's an awesome character, because he can actually turn into a werewolf, which is great. And then, boop, you've got a werewolf character who's got, again, every character has special abilities, so they all have like unique things that they're there for. Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 is coming out this Christmas, It'll be available on all consoles and handheld devices and also iDevices. And if you want to find out more about LEGO Harry Potter the video game, just go to the Warner Brothers website and that'll link you through to the official LEGO Harry Potter video game website.
THQ عرضت في E3 2011 بلوس أنجلوس يودرو جيم تابلت من خلاله يمكن الرسم واللعب على عدة سوفتوير. سنتعرف على اثنين منها، يودرو ستوديو انستنت ارتست وبيكشنري التيميت اديشن.
Right now I'm just giving you a quick demo of UDraw Studio 2 for the new HD UDraw game tablet for the 360 and PS3. And right now what I'm going to do is pick my tool set up here in the corner. As you can see, we have a really robust set of tools. Go here. It takes your favorite 6 tools and puts them on the right side. Down here you can select your color. As you can see, you can select from a whole gradient of colors. I think that's a good color right there. Next, I'm going to set up my brush size. As you can see, we always have a preview window here so you know what you're going to get. And then on this side, you can see the transparency. I can set it. So I'm going to set it all the way at 100%. So now I'm going to do the bark, the outside of the tree. I could go ahead and go into our tools, and maybe I want to put a dog on the island. A little bit bigger. Now I have a dog on my island. The thing that we're really excited about on the tablet this year is the touchscreen. Again, with 2-finger touch, you could take the screen, pinch, zoom in. So when it's in the software, you can zoom in on your drawing, you can twist it to rotate it, finger painting. So if you don't want to use the stylus, you can go ahead and just draw all over the screen like you're doing that. The Wii version launched last November, and the 360 and PS3 versions of the UDraw game tablet will be available November 15th. Pictionary will be out at launch of the 360 and PS3 versions of UDraw, which is going to be in fall. worldofudraw.com.